Hey guys, you got Lois here and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. Do me a favor before we get started with today's video, guys. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you're notified every time I post a new video. Now, let's get started with today's video, shall we? Alright guys, so for today's video we are going to be making this cute little picture, which is actually a Wi-Fi password keeper. I've seen this idea going around a little bit, so I thought it was really cute and thought I'd make a themed one of my own. So let's see what you're going to need to make it. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to need for this DIY is our picture of the doors of Moria. Now as you can see, I printed it out with the background being black and the door being white. Now I've done that just because it'll be a lot better contrast with what we're doing. And I've pre-cut it out to the size we need. The next thing we're going to need for this DIY is, of course, our photo frame. Now, as you can see, I've just chosen a simple black photo frame that is a 5x7 size. The next thing we're going to need for this DIY is, of course, our blue metallic marker. Now, I actually found this Sharpie just at my local grocery store. It came in a pack of 5, which is pretty awesome. The next thing you're going to need for this DIY is a paper or plastic plate. This is something we're going to need for our next item. So the next thing we're going to need for this DIY is some brown paint. Now this is the same brown paint that we used in our Christmas bauble DIY. Worked really well for us then, so hopefully it'll do the same for us now. So the next thing we're going to need for this DIY is a piece of sponge. Now this I made out of just your normal kitchen cleaning sponge, the ones that come with the green scourer on the back. I took the scourer off and just cut the sponge up into sections. The others I've got put away for later use. The next thing we're going to need for this DIY is, of course, a little bit of sandpaper. So this is what we're going to be using to rough up the photo frame so we can put the paint on. And the last thing we're going to need is our sticker for the back of the photo frame. So I printed this on the same sticker paper that I've used for all my other stickers, and you can easily use Paint or Photoshop to make up one that suits your DIY. Alright guys, and the last thing we will need is a tray which is lined with some paper towel that has a small glass bowl upside down. You guys will understand why I need this when we get to it. So now that we know everything we're going to need, let's get started with this DIY. Alright, so the first things we're going to grab are our photo frame and our sandpaper. So what we're going to do first is undo the back of the photo frame and take everything off. And I'm just going to sit everything to the side, including the glass. Just so that doesn't get damaged or broken. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sandpaper and just rough up all the surface of our photo frame. Alright, so I've just cleaned myself up a little bit and given the photo frame just a little bit of a wipe down to get any powder off it. So the next thing we're going to need is our paper plate with some of the paint on it. So just a nice dab of paint like that. And we're just going to grab our sponge, dip it in the paint. Actually, I should probably have a bit of paper towel on my table for this, so let me just grab that and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've just put my photo frame onto a bit of paper towel. I've got my sponge with the paint on it. Just going to do a little dab to get some excess off, and I'm just going to lightly do some dabbing on the photo frame. This is to just add a bit of extra color to it and a little bit more characteristic. Alright guys, and I think that is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab the tray, and before I pop it on there, what I'm going to do is quickly clean my hands, and then I'm going to reinsert the glass, tip it back over, do any little touch-ups I need to on the front, and then pop it on the tray to dry. Alright guys, so I've just moved my paint out of the way. I'm going to grab the glass and pop these up very carefully because I don't want to re-get paint on myself. It shouldn't take too long to dry, but yeah, I don't want to risk smudging anything. Alright, so now I'm just going to pop the glass back in. Just like that. I'm going to grab the tray. Got that just on the side here. And I'm going to carefully pick up my photo frame, flip it over, and sit it on the glass bowl. Alright, just looking at it, I am quickly going to do one or two little touch-ups off camera, and then we'll be back to continue this DIY. Alright guys, so I've cleaned myself up and moved the frame off to the side to dry. So next thing I'm going to do is grab our picture and our marker, and what I'm going to do is just go over all the lines. But before I do that, I think I'm going to grab a little something that I can put underneath this to stop the pen going through the paper. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I've just put it on the back of this notebook just so that the pen doesn't go through the paper. The marker might actually stain the cardboard on the back of this, but I don't mind that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace the marker over all the white. So this will take a while, so let me get to it. guys, so I am almost done with the detailing on this. The last bit to do is all the dwarfish writing at the top of the door. This is going to take me a while, so let me get to it and we will be done shortly. Alright guys, that is it. I am done with the lining of this. Oh my gosh. This took me a while, but it was so worth it. Oh, that looks amazing. Okay, so I'm going to give this a minute to properly dry, and then we will be back to put it all together. Alright guys, so we are back. I just left this for a moment and made sure the photo frame was dry and that everything was good. So now I'm just going to grab my photo frame and my other components for the photo frame, and now it's time to put it all together. So I'm going to turn this upside down. You can see that the texture goes through the paper and a little bit on there, but that's alright. So I'm going to just pop it in. Nice snug fit. Put the insert backwards, pop that in, and pop our back in. Smush them down to secure it. Alright, are you ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! Oh my goodness, how good does that look? I know it's kind of hard to see with the reflection of the glass, but that looks so good. Alright, so let me get rid of this. And let's turn it around, because now it's time to add our final touch. So the last thing we need is our sticker. So I've got the quote from the movie on it, "The doors of Durin, Lord of Moria." Then to keep that going, our network name is Speak Friend and Enter. And the password is the Elvish word for friend, which is melon. So, just like in the movie, yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And you can tailor this to your own personal Wi-Fi or do anything else you kind of want with it. So I am just going to peel the back of this sticker. And I'm just going to stick it nicely straight on the back. And there we are, guys. We are finished with this DIY. And that's it, guys. We are finished. It took a little while, but it was so much fun to make. And yeah, you can make this in any way you really want. So you can do it in a way that suits your own personal Wi-Fi name or password, or you could even change that to reflect the theme you want to do. Either way, you can have so much fun with this idea. I know I certainly did. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video, and as always, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you're notified every time I post a new video. Alright guys, I'll see you next week. Bye!